Interpretation. Interpretation. Interpretation is an explanation or opinion of what something means. For example, it's difficult for most people to accept a literal interpretation of the Bible. Guilt. Guilt. Guilt is a feeling of worry or unhappiness that you have because you have done something wrong, such as causing harm to another person. For example, he suffered such feelings of guilt over leaving his children. Agony. Agony. An agony is an extreme physical or mental pain or suffering. For example, we have both suffered agonies of guilt over what happened. Company. Company. A company is an organization that sells goods or services in order to make money. For example, the company is concentrating on developing new products. Jail. Jail. A jail is a place where criminals are kept to punish them for their crimes, or where people accused of crimes are kept while waiting for their trials. For example, they spend 10 years in jail for fraud. Suffering. Suffering. Suffering is a physical or mental pain that a person or animal is feeling. For example, the war will cause widespread human suffering. Occasion. Occasion. An occasion is a particular time, especially when something happens or has happened. For example, we met on several occasions to discuss the matter. Confession. Confession. Confession is the act of admitting that you have done something illegal or wrong. For example, I have a confession to make. I've lost the book you lent me. Admission. Admission. Admission is the act of agreeing that something is true, especially unwillingly. For example, her silence was taken as an admission of defeat. Charge. Charge. Charge is the amount of money that you have to pay for something, especially for an activity or service. For example, is there a charge for children or do they go free? Complicity. Complicity. Complicity is the involvement in a crime or some activity that's wrong. For example, she is suspected of complicity in the fraud. 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 Fraud is a crime of getting money by deceiving people. For example, they spend 10 years in jail for fraud. Crime. Crime. A crime is an illegal act. For example, he has admitted committing several crimes, including fraud. Misdemeanor. Misdemeanor. A misdemeanor is an action that's slightly bad or breaks a rule but is not a crime. For example, every week as children we were beaten for some minor misdemeanor. Infringement. Infringement. An infringement is an action that breaks a rule, law, etc. For example, even minor infringements of the law will be severely punished. Opinion. Opinion. An opinion is a thought or belief about something or someone. For example, people tend to have strong opinions on capital punishment. Advice. Advice. Advice is an opinion that someone offers you about what you should do or how you should act in a particular situation. For example, she gave me some good advice. Another one, can I give you a piece of advice? Organization. Organization. An organization is a group of people who work together in an organized way for a shared purpose. For example, the article was about the international aid organizations. Management. Management. Management is a control and organization of something. For example, the company has suffered from several years of bad management. Component. Component. A component is a part that combines with other parts to form something bigger. For example, the factory supplies electrical components for cars. Factory. Factory. A factory is a building or buildings where people use machines to produce goods. For example, she worked in a factory that produced air conditioners. Noise. Noise. A noise is a sound or sounds, especially when it's unwanted, unpleasant, or loud. For example, lots of people have complained about the noise. Conversation. Conversation. A conversation is a talk between two or more people in which thoughts, feelings, and ideas are expressed. For example, she had a strange conversation with the man who moved in upstairs. Attempt. Attempt. An attempt is the act of trying to do something, especially something difficult. For example, he made no attempt to be sociable. Government. Government. A government is a group of people who officially control a country. For example, senior government officials will be attending a meeting tomorrow.